Hey, I'm Des Rocs, and you're watching DutchScene.
Take a trip to Are you ready? Okay, let's do it.
It's surreal. I think the name of the tour is so apt, it being the Dream Machine Tour, because this whole tour has truly felt like a dream. Well, we've never headlined here before, ever, so we had no idea what to expect. So we put up a tour in small rooms, and they sold out straight away. And the big room here wasn't available to upgrade to, but the next night was. Well, no, the night before was. So they put us in the room the night before, the bigger one. Now we're doing 2 nights in a row here, so it's crazy. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be really intimate, and because it's 2 different rooms, it was really important to us to design 2 completely different shows, which will be 2 different eras of Des Rocs. So I'm very excited.
So drain my blood until there's nothing left. Maybe, yeah, won't repent. Live a lie and let the vultures in. Maybe,
Well, they're like, the songs are kind of like, first of all, they're all your children, so they all have very different meanings. But in a way, they're also kind of like clothes, like jackets. You know, like you have a jacket you're obsessed with for 2 years, you wear it every day straight. Well, you don't wear that jacket for a while. Then a couple months go by, you wear that jacket for another 2 years. You know what I mean? So in a way, it's kind of always changing, but there are some that are very tried and true. Like a song called Wayne is always one of my favorites to perform. It is just such a high octane song, and it gives me a lot live.
So it's one that you always play.
Yeah, I play it a lot. And anytime I think about taking it out of the set list, I'm like, no. Like, that one's for me. I'd say in a live setting, it's less about the lyrical meaning of the song and far more about the instrumentation and the energy of it. Because that song is a real power trip, so it's a lot of fun. I don't have many pre-show rituals. I have some rules. One rule is I don't eat for several hours before I go on stage. Nothing worse than going on a full stomach. But rituals I don't really like, because God forbid you ever have a ritual and then for whatever reason you can't do the ritual. The whole time on stage I'm going to be thinking, we didn't do the ritual. You know what I mean? Something bad's going to happen. So our ritual is to have no rituals. I hope they remember the emotional investment of us and our music and the connection we form with an audience every night. That energy, that emotional connection, that is the foundation of Des Rocs. And if there's one thing anyone could take away, I hope it's that. Well, Dream Machine was very much about getting back to basics. See, I put out a record during COVID called A Real Good Person, A Real Bad Place. Very introverted, very dark. The whole record's almost like one long inner monologue. It is literally the sound of me sitting alone in a room making a record. And Dream Machine is the parting of the clouds and embracing this just giant rock and roll aesthetic and vision that I've always had since I was a little child, and maybe shedding some of the much darker undertones of A Real Good Person, A Real Bad Place. So it's just really big music, very genuine music, very authentic music, hearkening back to the greats, but not imitating, rather standing on the shoulders of those greats and dragging the art form further into the 21st century. That's what it's all about. So much of my music is inspired by live performance. Whenever I'm writing, I'm always envisioning it on a stage. You know, it's very visual for me. So all those things are very interconnected. I produce a lot of my own music, but the right collaborators cannot be overlooked. You know, for a while I thought I could just do everything myself, but in order to get where I wanted to go, I knew I had to bring in some outside hands who knew how to get there. You know, I don't know my way around a studio. I don't know how to mic a kick drum. I know how to make records on a laptop. I know how to write songs, but it was really important to have people who could challenge me and improve upon what I'm already doing and get it to where I wanted it to go. Yeah, I'm definitely a control freak, definitely a bad OCD. I would say like it doesn't affect it, like it is it. My OCD and my obsessiveness is the writing process, you know? But importantly, having outside people could come in and challenge the things I was working on, ask questions that I wouldn't normally know to ask myself, especially when it comes to production and things like that.
Way down the road, big wheels turn to the rhythm of the blood red sun. To the blood red sun. Half a man and half apocalypse to chase the thrill that you cannot resist. Day and night, every time that one there is a natural poem.
I think the feeling is always there. You know, the way you grew up, that will always be ingrained into your DNA. I didn't write so much to help me overcome that. I wrote it more because I think you should write what you know. You know, I'm writing my experience. These are my stories, expressed through the lens of all things Des Rocs, and filtered through that personal voice. So that's why, you know, I write what I know. I write about myself, and I write about things I experience, and I write about life. So it's more of a reflection on the artist rather than a mechanism to cope with something in the past. Oh yeah, a lot of it is, but some of it's also much looser, much more creatively free. Like I don't confine myself to only writing about things that have literally happened to me. I get inspiration from everything and everywhere. I guess the writing process is less of a process of dealing with the past and more of a process of just kind of like channeling what I have right now. No, I can't, because I like to leave the interpretation of things like that to the audience. I could tell you if I'm using a literal name, then it's definitely not someone's actual name. That's one thing I can reveal. That's that. Yeah, he's very involved in the production. He's my left hand in a lot of the production process. one of my best friends since 10th grade. And yeah, he's a one-of-a-kind person and integral to all things Des Rocs right now. Yeah, man, life has a funny way of working out, you know? At a moment when I thought I had lost everything that I'd worked my whole life to build, it actually ended up being one of the greatest blessings in disguise because it birthed something that we're even more proud of and even more excited about. We were opening for a band called The Cult, and Dana is like such a rock and roll enthusiast that he actually saw the opening band, and that opening band happened to be us. And the music really resonated with him, and ever since he's been a huge fan and a huge supporter. And man, we could not be more grateful for his appreciation and everything he's done for us, because I don't think I could have ever dreamed in a million years of having somebody like that in my life. And every day that I do, I couldn't be more grateful for it. Truly incredible, and it's a platform that artists spend their whole lives trying to get and never even come close to. So to have that platform and have it paired with someone as fucking badass as Dana is unbelievable. Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters that came out like instantly. Why?
Well, I mean, we talk about OCD and being obsessed with stuff. Like, I'm obsessed with the idea of Dave Grohl hearing what Des Rocs is all about and seeing a show. I feel like he would really appreciate the message that we're trying to deliver to the world for our generation. And I feel like my generation doesn't have anything like what we're offering to the world. I'm constantly working on new music. I'm a long way from new music. We just put out this album, so there's a lot of touring coming up, a lot of touring in support of the record. And then on the sidelines, I'm kind of gathering my thoughts for what's next. No one puts a break on me. I don't put a break on me. I can't stop thinking about stuff. I'm never gonna be like, oh, today start thinking about new songs. Like, it's not how it works, you know? Yeah, if this comes out before, I guess it's not coming out in the next 30 minutes, so you missed the show if you weren't there.
I am the lightning